Grid up on screen then for race 2 for the Ohvale GPs. Wilson Dilks will start on pole position alongside Ruben Bray. Row number 2 shared by Tyler Humphries and Arnie Carr. Luca Wilkinson and Laken Payne on row 3. Row 4 sees Monty Hillier inside Kobe Garbutt. Then we've got Cameron McAncliffe and Thornley Trevorrow completing the top 10. Daniel Stevenson and Travis Shaw on row 6. Jack Newton and Jonathan Payne on row 7. In front of Izzy Carter, Sydney Marshall, Jack Hamilton and Dan Deering in 18th. The top 20 completed by Ethan Dunning and Logan Connolly. Freddie Bridewell didn't start yesterday. We'll see whether the 118 machine will join us here for Sunday's offering of the Rich Energy British Minibike Championship. Thank you very much for joining myself, David Sullivan, all of us here at Alpha Live Productions. 30 races on the card for you today here at round number 4 of the Rich Energy British Minibikes Championship. Please do get in touch with us on the live stream comments. We'll endeavour throughout the day to read out as many of those as possible. Riders then getting themselves round onto the grid for the next race of the day. As mentioned earlier, you can create yourself a nice virtual pit wall by tuning in as well to the live timing, which can be found at live.alphatiming.co.uk/BMB for the British Minibike Championship. You'll be able to on there you'll have a track map as well with the top 3 runners highlighted in gold, silver and bronze. You're also able to click on 2 other riders as well. The first time you click, the rider will go red. The second time, if you double click, they'll go blue. So you're able to highlight 2 additional riders as well if you are watching for specific riders here today at Ellough Park. If you can't make it here to watch in person, thank you very much for joining us across all of the platforms here. My start line marshal, the red flag is pointed up towards the lights. We're about to go racing here in the Ohvale GPs. It's a good start from the middle of the pack from at least one of our runners. He's going to drive down into the inside. That's the 37. He's right down the inside. Monty Hillier with a fantastic start. He started in 7th place, could already be up into 4th. What a start off the 4th row for him. As well from the outside, he managed to get all the way across the track and then dive down the inside into the Degner 1 hairpin. It's a fantastic move for him. The rest of the pack making their way round Holmes. Looks like we could be clear with the exception of one rider who is off on the outside of Degner 1. That's going to be covered by a yellow flag, but we're certainly one rider down as it stands here then in the Ohvale GP class. The top 2 are moving away then at the front of this Ohvale class, and they will come over the timing line for the first time, and we will be able to see who the top 2 are, and they're side by side then. Over they come, Wilson Dilks and Monty Hillier, who's made a fantastic start from 7th place, is now all over the back and is challenging for the lead. The yellow flags are out, so Hillier wouldn't have been able to overtake down there into Degner anyway. The car with the bike sat stationary on the outside. Looks like the rider is fine though, and all the yellows are now in. There's Dilks and Hillier. There's the rider that had problems on the opening lap. It's the number 4, that's Travis Shaw. Now getting lapped by the rest of the pack, and it's opened up the gap then between Dilks and Hillier as Dilks managed to get through the single file Clinton's corner. Hillier couldn't do the same, and Hillier has had to drop back. They came over the line last time side by side, less than 1/10 of a second between them, and now Monty Hillier will be at least a second behind Wilson Dilks as they come over the line for lap number 2. Ruben Bray sets a good lap time. We've got rider stationary on the outside of the Alan Womes hairpin. Not sure who that is. We've got a number of people running over to try and help and get that rider back into the race. And it does look like that could be the 37 of Monty Hillier. Timing at least, he's dropping down into 16th, 17th, 18th place now. He's all the way down the timing screen. It looks like the rider that was in 2nd place. We'll have to confirm it in terms of visuals on the screen. But timing at least, he's down in 18th place. So what was a fantastic start for Monty Hillier, moving up from 7th and battling for the lead as they came over the line at the start of the 2nd lap, has come to a premature end. He's still in the race, I believe, but now well down the order in 18th place. The rider there stationed on the outside. That is Monty Hillier getting himself going again. So the rider that had probably had one of the best starts we've seen all day here at Ellough Park is now down in 19th place and a lap down on proceedings. As they stand out, on the timing screen at least, it looks like Ruben Bray is at the top of the pile. Between him and Wilson Dilks, there's no number of riders there, 4 of them at the very least, with Wilkinson, Trevorrow, Humphreys and Arnie Carr all battling it out for 3rd place. They rapidly change direction and then drop down the hill towards Barney's, the right-hander. It's quite a drop actually there. The camera doesn't particularly do it justice. When you're here at the circuit you can see it rides up, and if that straight was a little bit longer they'd be popping the front up a little bit faster as they come through. Then Ruben Bray and Wilson Dilks continue to battle it out for the lead. Very little between them. Wilkinson, Trevorrow, Carr and Humphreys, the battle for 3rd. Looks like Lake and Payne's in the background as well there, but Wilkinson, Trevorrow, Carr, Humphreys then ran wide at Degner and is now dropping off the back of this one. Wilkinson backing them all up though, none of them managing to find a way through. Now though it's Arnie Carr trying to make his way through, having got past Humphreys on the previous lap. Let's see if he can do what Humphreys can't and find a way past Thorley Trevorrow. Trevorrow though, very defensive to an extent into Barney's, but in doing so runs wide and may have compromised down towards Alan Wone's hairpin. He does, and he runs wide once again, but still will have track position as it switches back. Can Trevorrow run all the way round the outside of Wilkinson? I think he can, and there is confirmation on the screen. Thorley Trevorrow is up into 3rd place, kept the throttle on all the way round the outside of the final hairpin and managed to come through as the circuit hooked back to the right hand side, and now Thorley Trevorrow is up into 3rd place at the expense of Wilkinson, Carr and Humphreys behind, with 2.5 laps remaining here in the Ohvale GP. Race number 2 of the weekend. First time we've seen them here this week today. The first race was yesterday, and the leaders still continuing to battle it out. Nothing between the two of them. The battle for 3rd is still nose to tail, and once again though Humphreys has closed back up, having dropped away for a few laps, with Trevorrow making his way past Wilkinson. Has really now played back into the hands as Carr bogs down coming out of the final corner, and that's going to allow Humphreys to come down the inside. There he is in the background with confirmation on the timing screen as well. Carr got a poor run out of the final corner, and Tyler Humphreys moved up into 5th place. Trevorrow though now in front of Wilkinson. Wilkinson will try and go down the inside into Holmes. Trevorrow closes the door very, very promptly down onto the front wheel of Wilkinson. So Trevorrow and Wilkinson continuing to battle. This is the battle for the lead then. Dilks with the number 85 on the front still cannot find a way past the orange helmeted Ruben Bray in front. And Dilks, who led the early part of this race, being chased down by Monty Hillier, now goes down the inside into the opening corner of Ruben Bray. Ruben Bray gets the switchback though and goes down the inside. Dilks leads for around about 6 or 7 metres at best as Bray comes back down the inside into Shoemakers. There's Bray with the orange helmet with the red dot on the top. We're on the final lap as they head down now. Half a lap remaining as they go down towards O'Rossi. Bray closes the door on the inside. This is going to be the final real overtaking point. Will Dilks go down the inside? No, he doesn't. I think he's going to try and line this one up. Expect to move down then into Alan Wones, who's going to keep it to the inside, is he? Makes a late move down. No, he's going to hold firm into position. Can't get down the inside of Ruben Bray. Bray's got too much track position in front of him. And Ruben Bray will come through. Gets the power down out of the final corner. Sees the checkered flag. And by less than 1/10 of a second over the line, wins Ohvale GP. Couple of riders off down at Barney's on the final lap. Trevorrow will come through for 3rd, Wilkinson 4th, Carr and Humphreys will come through, although Humphreys loses out on the final lap, I think, to Lake and Payne. We're still going to wait for 7th to come back. It could be Humphreys, who was down on that final corner. We're still waiting for confirmation of 7th to come over the line. Freddie Bridewell comes through. He started at the back of the pack and he's come all the way through into 7th place. It is Humphreys that's down, I believe, on the outside of Barney's. He's dropping outside of the top 10 with Bridewell, Stevenson, Garbo and Cliff completing the top 10 runners. And I expect Hamilton, Carter, Newton will come through. He's dropped 3 places on the final lap, unfortunately. Marshall completes the top 15. Looks like all of the riders that were involved in that incident are back up. There was at least 2 bikes down there, Humphreys being one of them. He's dropped out of that battle for 3rd, down into 6th place. Unfortunate for him aboard the number 19, but he is up at the very least, and the circuit clearing itself fairly quickly.